You know it.
What it do, Blast?
Man, my nigga, we back in the motherfucking house.
Yes, sir. It's the niggas you love to hate. Once again, back at you.
Man, this right here is probably going to be the most controversial show that we've brought to you so far out of the 5 episodes preceding this. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to jump into it real quick because we got a lot of motherfuckers to touch on. You know what I'm saying? And
as always, the list, we could talk about these subjects for hours, but, we're trying to give you a hot 59 minutes and 59 seconds. Real quick.
And before we jump in, it's like I study podcasts and shit also. People probably think I'm just a nigga that wants to ramble off at the mouth or, jack my jaws. That's not really it. You know what I mean? Like you got to have a content or a subject, that's something you can actually speak on because you're somewhat informed on.
You got to be knowledgeable.
You know what I mean? And so that's something that we actually try to bring to the table. So I'm not really sure what the listening audience is really going for sometimes, but that's what we're doing. It is a specific genre of music that we're speaking on, that it's West Coast or the coast specifically, but it touches almost every aspect of music when, you know what I mean, or encompasses it at a certain point, or whether a style or, you know what I mean, a sound or something.
I would say music that comes from the streets. Hip hop, rap, even if it's R&B that may come from the block. You know what I mean? I think we cover it here, being the type of fellas that we are and how we move out here in LA.
And
you know what I mean?
and also it's a conversation. The most famous thing that was ever, I don't know, talked in the buildings, me and you talk about going in the buildings, is that barbershop conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's important.
That was the most important thing or lifeline for music and lifestyle content. And that's what we're here to do, is we're here to give you the conversation that most executives or people are not privy to. You know what I mean?
That barbershop talk.
And so this is the conversation that the homie has when he's riding around with the other homie smoking a blunt and they listening to music, or, you know what I mean, they're going to go get something to eat or go get haircuts.
Discussing it and going over who's the best MC? Biggie,
who did
Jay-Z,
this,
and Nas.
right? You know what I mean? You heard that.
It's going back to that. You know what I mean? And everybody having their opinion on it.
And that conversation never ends. You know what I mean? Like when you get with your niggas, each one always has a different element to chime in on it or sees it a different way.
Or bring somebody else, because every week it's a new rapper.
It's somebody new.
Popping up. You know what I mean? So
speaking of popping up and new, you know what I mean? This is like what I would call like the antithesis to rap. You know what I mean? The evolution of the white rapper.
The white MC.
Yes. You white rappers out there, don't be offended by the show completely. You need to just probably take it in, digest, you know what I mean, and then swallow, you know what I mean, or spit it out. You know
I feel like, Blast, you got a super pill. You about to serve them on that, on the subject.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because it's really a bigger perspective of it. This is only one element of it, of what I would call a gentrification of America that's going on, in a sense of any black commodity that exists that they're trying to infringe upon, especially in controlling how it's structured or created or manifested.
They want a piece.
Not beyond a piece. See, that's what I think we initially did in hip hop, was give them a piece. But now it's like they want to control the vehicle, and that's where it's like, no, nigga, I drive the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I've always driven it. You know what I mean? You sit in the back seat and be a passenger and ride. You know what I mean? And take the benefits of me and how I swoop in this game. You know what I mean? Because it's not how you swoop, it's how I swoop.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
we both come from out the buildings and dealing with the labels, and that's sometimes the gatekeepers let that go and got out of control with it. You know what I mean? It's not, now if you was a VP, senior VP, you'd be able to roll that car and have that conversation. Certain niggas was driving and got slid a check and decided to say, "Oh, come on, we ride with you. Come on, you can ride with us, yeah." And then they snuck it, and next thing you know, the greatest rapper, according to them, is
Eminem, right? And that's the most bullshit shit in the face of the history of fucking rap. You know what I mean? When you get publications that print that type of shit, because that's devaluing and defacing. You know what I mean? Like
culture.
Fucking 3 generations of fucking rap. You know what I mean? That I mean, it's just a denigration of us as a people and a culture when it happens this way. And I don't care. Before we even get into touching on these particular MCs or artists, and I want to, there's a thing called Blue Eye Soul. You know what I mean? That existed. That existed before this white rapper genre was created, and
Same move going towards like soul and R&B.
Exactly. Same oo-wop where you have white artists. You have a modern version of it with a Robin Thicke or something like that. You know what I mean? But
definitely.
But you know, to me,
or
like
Justin Timberlake.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, that's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah. Even Justin Bieber, you know what I mean? And so those these are representations of, you know what I mean, the Elvis perspective of commercialization of music and style and lifestyle and swag at the end of the day of how we express it now. When you swagger jacking at the end of the day, it's a foul thing when we can't eat off of the shit we create. You know what I mean? And you only get and the benefits only go to you.
How about we call them culture vultures?
That's
a Dame Dash bar. Shout out Dame Dash over there.
All day. Studio. Shout out Dame. Forever shout out Dame.
Forever for riding. Staying on nigga back.
Forever. You know what I mean? This is my nigga. You know what I mean? I don't care how you feel about it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
We're going to get Dame on the show real quick.
Oh, man. Dame can go up here anytime because I know. Because he's one of the niggas you love to hate. You know what I'm saying? Bro, he's the epitome of a nigga you love to hate.
Exactly. Because he going to give it to you. You don't give a fuck how you feel about it. You ain't stopping his paper. He gonna keep doing what he's doing.
One of the greatest things I ever seen was when they put him giving Kevin Liles those bars on the movie. You know what I mean? On that documentary with The Rock.
Let me tell you something. Them bars, that was weekly. You only seen it one time on a movie. I experienced it. Bro, that's a whole nother show, Blast, we gotta get to. But I've been in a full marketing boardroom. 30 employees and Dame coming there and spaz. Talking spaz on the boy.
And that's why they hated him. And that's why they hated him. But it was his shit, so I don't understand why.
He's standing up for his thing.
Right.
This is my thing.
Why can't he be passionate about what's his? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're an investor in something that he's created. So he
just trying to take it and run with it as yours.
Wow. You know what I mean? He's not supposed to defend himself? Man, fuck that. You know what I mean? So shout out Dame forever. This is not a personal thing or who he's whatever. I'm just telling you from my perspective and what I've seen. And shout out to Ty Dash. That was my nigga on the streets. You know what I mean? Repping back in the day. You know what I mean? We was always street niggas from LA. You know what I mean? To NY. You know what I mean? So that was my nigga Ty Dash. You know what I mean? So shout out. You know what I mean? That whole Dash family like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But jumping into these white rappers. You know what I mean? Let's kick this shit off, man.
Let's jump right into
the most legendary white rappers. I don't know, back in the day for me. You know, because they really they did integrate is what I would call it. Being that the label that they were on, the group that they were following in rap, era or time period.
Of course.
It really fit. You couldn't really fight it, and that's the Beastie Boys. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, MCA, Ad Rock,
License to Ill. It was a magnificent record, G.
Totally, without a doubt.
It's a magnificent record. I don't care what. Go ahead, G.
I mean, jumping into it, you gotta understand it was a different time too. So. I was listening to that record and didn't even know they was white.
That's the point.
For a long
time. We just rocked the record.
You feel me? K-Day used to be banging Paul Revere.
Greg Mack, the Mix Mac Attack. You know what I mean?
Like,
come on,
the
Mac
hard.
Attack. That they used to give it to us like that. You know what I mean? Like where. All those records was a go. I mean, we get Paul Revere, we get Brass Monkey.
Hold it now. Hit it.
I mean, that was on my way to school on the bus in the morning. You know what I mean? Like that was. You know what I mean? That's how a nigga lived. So yeah. I can't really ever denigrate or shit on Beastie Boys from that perspective. They was one of the forefathers in
this
rap.
Whole
you know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they was also on Def Jam. Russell and Rick brought him to the table. You feel
the
me?
Rick angle, though, it ties into actually the theme or the basis for it because they were actually able to utilize what we would call, you know what I mean, white privilege. Shout out to Macklemore later in the show. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but
sir.
able to use white privilege to get them catapult into that position.
Yeah, and then also be able to take that same hip-hop sound and take it to other arenas where actually black rappers couldn't go. So they could actually go to all the venues and all the spots that, you know, regular black rappers could go to, but then they can also flip and do some CBGBs in New York, which is all punk rock.
All punk rock. You know
what I'm saying?
And I'm not mad at you having a lane that you can attack or, I'm not really even trying to criticize it from that perspective. All I'm saying is that this is a street art form. And so the streets are who raise and create the talent pool for this. And so when you subvert the street and just utilize relationships to put yourself in the position, then it becomes Hollywood at the end of the day. It's like the actors with agents. And that's not what hip hop or this street music was ever intended for, or you know what I mean, how it was created. It was created by the authenticity of the voice of the street. And if you can't represent that, then I don't see how you could ever be really at the top or, consider authentic,
I think and I don't even think they, are considered when people in this day and age talk about the greatest in hip hop, because their style actually morphed and moved and went somewhere else. Actually, from when they first started, like they put out singles and they was sort of like a punk band.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying?
That Capital, I forgot what the Dice.
I'm talking about before that. I'm talking about before Def Jam. When they had weird singles like Carvel Ice Cream.
That was still Grand Royal, though. I think they were still that wasn't Grand Royal. This was like early. This had to be like 83.
Okay. I might be going back a little bit for the kiddies, but of course definitely. I'm a historian in this game
all day.
And, they were doing like college punk. I wouldn't really say rap, but it was that era where it was like, okay, if we twist this a little bit, which was a Rick Rubin bar,
that's a bar.
We can kind of morph this a little bit and do rap, give it a little bit harder drums, and I guess I would say Rick is the founder of that culture coming into play. You know what I mean? And how he designed it. You know what I mean? So, away from that, you know what I mean? As far as when you're talking about the Beastie Boys, never forget, even though they were the personalities and they was doing their thing, Run and D was behind them lyrics.
That's what I'm saying. They were the influence and the spirit behind you, and we could hear that.
That was the pen.
We could hear that in the music, you know what I mean? But we couldn't identify it or didn't know how it moved and shook at that time, you know what I mean? So exactly. it got us, you know what I mean? They put the whoop on us, and that's where again I'm always talking about motherfuckers trying to put the whoop on a motherfucker, and I don't be liking that whoop. That's what I'm always here to uncover and expose. I'm a man, you know what I mean? My nigga Cam was, you know what I mean, for all my West Side niggas with that whoop whoop, you know what I mean? That's the only whoop I fuck with. I don't fuck with no other whoops. You know what I mean?
Right.
Period.
But early on, I can't. Like I said, rap was so new. You know what I mean? We welcomed it in, and then of course at that time,
that's what I'm saying.
It was the Fresh Fest. You had Houdini, you had Run DMC, you had LL,
Cool J.
You feel me? And then you had the Beastie Boys, which gave you that different objective on the scene, where people was like, okay, the wild white boys, they coming out here, they rocking, they throwing beer everywhere, and
the record company never stopped or has never not wanted to cross over rap or make rap crossover into a pop or white audience. That's been the record company's goal the entire time, no matter what records you put out. You know what I mean? And that's to the destruction of the artist at the end of the day. What the artist doesn't understand, the artist thinks, I expand my fan base and everything like that. Not in this particular genre of music. Maybe as an R&B artist, that's okay, but not as a rap artist. You can't. That's not. If you get a number one record and you were able to blow and cross over, and where pop is loving your record the same, but you kept it street and had a street audience with that record, then that's 1 in a billion at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's rare, but that's the progression of an artist. So, you get the raw from the block, and then eventually if you sign and they working you going to break that pop record, then it's over, because the streets is like, you way over there.
That's what I'm trying to say. You're done. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're done. Right. You're done. But the artist doesn't think that. The artist thinks that I'm going to keep going and everything. But it's not. That's not. We don't live in that. Rap is not R&B or jazz. You're not trying to. Like Branford Marsalis or Wynton Marsalis. Yeah, I can listen to him till he's 75 or 80 blow on the horn. I can do that because that's beautiful music. I understand. That's something different. Right. This is street music we're talking about.
Street is a young man's sport.
That's a young man's sport. It's like the NBA. D'Angelo Russell is 19 out there. Kobe Bryant is 37.
It's over.
It's time to go home, sir.
You guys sit down.
And so it's the same thing in rap. There is no difference in this perspective. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so you're saying, well, hey, nigga, Blast, you're not 25 no more either, nigga. I know that. That's why I'm behind the mic over here, and I'm not running the streets with you young niggas. You know what I'm saying? I know my position in this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm the nigga here to school you. That's what the retired player does. He goes and he grabs the mic and he works for ESPN, and he talks about the game.
Exactly.
Church,
he give
nigga.
You commentary on the game.
Man, get a bar of me, nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
All
what
day.
this is about, man. You know what I mean? On the niggas you love to hate. You know what I mean? Hashtag that.
Hashtag it, bro. Mark Breezy all day.
Will blast all up in your mouth.
Yeah,
Don't bite, just swallow.
Yeah. You know what? Y'all, maybe just tuning in, but this is really how we get down. So you're gonna see us jump from topic to topic, but also bring it back around to the main topic of the day. So
because
we got to give you a thorough bar. You feel me?
Because this is a controversial or a topic that most have had an opinion on. It comes up all the time, and
nobody wants to touch on it, like, because it gets tricky.
Man, because you're going to have to take a side at the end of the day to a degree, and so when you do take that side, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, right. So from transitioning from the Beastie Boys to a what I would call a one-hit wonder of them, you know what I mean? Ice, Ice, baby.
Oh, bro.
My nigga.
Ice, baby.
Do.
You feel me? Vanilla Ice, bro. I mean, he the one kind of blew. You know what? Vanilla Ice is like it's a weird subject because, where could I start with this guy? First of all, he came in the game with the hammer pants and doing the dancing, and he had the wild flat top, and he was doing all that, bro.
All culture vulture shit. You know what I mean?
Culture vulture shit. But what happened is the way that record came about, there was this young man out of Pomona, California, Diamond Bar area named Chocolate. Chocolate was a producer that was sending beats around, and his beats ended up getting down to Texas to Vanilla Ice. And that became the hit. That became the hit.
That's a bar.
Ice Baby.
That's a historical bar for you niggas, man.
Historical bar. And then to fast forward real quick, so I don't want to touch too much on that. Chocolate actually ended up contacting Suge after the record blew up.
Right.
I wanted that publishing money because I was, you know what I mean?
That's what I wanted to touch on. That's the only part. I don't give a fuck about it. I mean, you can pull it up and you know what Vanilla Ice is if you function.
I mean, that's only had one song that we can ever remember.
That's what I'm saying.
And got a movie off of that, so you got a movie off. You feel me? You got what was it, Cool as Ice or some shit like that?
A movie off of, I mean, by being a white boy and rapping, you know what I mean? Like
Hammer didn't get one.
It's been 750,000 niggas on the conveyor belt over time, and it took on one. He put out one record and got a movie. You know what I mean? Niggas can barely get part roles.
I think he sold something crazy on that record, like 10, 12 million copies, bro.
Again, my thing is the Suge and the hang off the balcony. That's the only thing I want to touch on.
Well, okay, yeah, let me get into that. So Chocolate, you know what I mean, was producing and, through word of mouth, different people end up connecting with Suge. Say, Suge, man, that record, I produced the record. But they won't call me back. I'm not getting any information. I need my money. So Suge ends up, signing Chocolate to, a management agreement. And,
like he does.
And then goes out and finds Vanilla Ice and,
shakes him down.
Shakes him down right here in West Hollywood. And then voila, Death Row Records was born. I can respect that play. Like everything that you're going off to say in regards to how they steal it from us and go and sell that amount of records, it took somebody to go steal it back.
Steal it back. We're gonna do a whole show on Suge. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a whole Suge show. That's Death Row is a whole show. You know what I mean?
That's like a show for you could do it every Thursday for 2-3 weeks.
Man, you know what I mean? Like that's a mini series, like OJ that's going on right now. You know what I mean? Suge's the same way, but at the end of the day, I just like touching on that because the point of it is that you entered into an avenue or fucked with an avenue that's something that's done by street niggas and street people a lot of times. And so when you try to manipulate, those kind of people when you're engaging it, then the streets come back to bite your ass. And you weren't prepared really for that angle to come back and bite your ass.
Idea
you know what I mean? In that way, you know what I mean? When it's 6'4" and 320 coming at you, it kind of gets intimidating a little bit. Yeah. So
it's crazy. It's crazy we having that conversation because a week ago, one of my guys who was actually a dancer for Vanilla Ice at the time was actually at the hotel with dude when it went down. When it happened, he actually was leaving the room because a dude had Robert Van Winkle.
Wow,
was his name.
Wow,
as far as Vanilla Ice, my guy walked out and he said, "Yeah, I'm about to meet with this guy named Suge Knight. So go back to your room and I'll holler at you later." And he said he walked out to the hallway and there was 3 big dudes in all red and he said, "I wonder what this meeting's about."
I wonder. But I'm probably glad I'm not going.
He's not going and come back. And like I said, voila, birth, Death Row Records, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Dogg Pound. You know the story.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
And transitioning on to the next motherfucker or next group, let's just say. Actually, you know, for some white boys, they had a little flavor for me. They had some cool little beats at the time. This is, you know, that late 80s, you know, early 90s genre, right after like Stetsasonic and all them, you know, Big Daddy Kane, all that shit's going on. You know, but third base, you know what I'm saying? MC Search. Search had brought Nas to the game, number one. I always got to give him credit for that.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? You got to give.
It's almost a Robert Van Winkle situation. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you're giving one away to get something back at least.
All day.
At the least. At least we get something back now. Just some of the ones that just rape it and run with it. Yeah, we got.
But he did at least add to the culture because if he, you know what I mean, because he did bring Nas to the game. So you have to give him that. The Pete Nice element of third base. See, like I looked at Search as a white boy rapping that wanted to. What he was telling black people was, I understand your plight. I'm with you. I'm with you. And I'm not
giving you a Bernie Sanders bar.
And I'm on. I'm on your side. I'm not. But at the same time, I did cut my shit in like a high top. I did culture vulture on some levels too because that's what was popular and trendy in rap. So I wanted to do the same thing. So I know why it happens or how it happens, but when you mimic it, it's like me going to go put on a yarmulke and growing the beard out, you know what I mean, and walking around in a certain way with the big hat on. The Orthodox Jew is going to go, ha-ah, ha-ah. Yeah, it's not you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to stand for that.
Hold on. Like, what, you know what I mean? So when you mimic the black man and his manifestation of culture and style, why can't we express that that's not okay? And why can't you hear it? That's really the sad part about it is, you know what I mean, that you won't digest that element of when we say, hey, man, you know what I mean? Like
that's not for you.
We're not trying to really Mr. Rogers it anymore too much. Most of us don't do that. So, you know, we give you certain lanes to do you. Birkenstock lane, all those things are you for the most part. We don't really fuck with that. So
you gotta understand, the Searcher was wearing the black medallions.
The whole
he had the jug down. I mean,
he would have sisters in the video. That was his thing. You know what I mean? He didn't even have the white girls in the video. He had sisters in the video.
He married a sister. What you
That's what I'm trying to say.
He went all the way out.
So and went all the way in. That's what usually happens where it's too much. Where it's like okay, Pete Nice. I'm like Pete Nice was like white Nino Brown before Nino Brown.
I fucked with Prime Minister Pete Nice, bro. He was cool as fuck.
It was a funny weird look for me back then. Like, what's the steez? Like
he was on Big Daddy Kane. He had the suits. He had the cane with him. He was always in the chair, like on some real.
I thought he could rap though. Like I liked his raps.
Right.
I just didn't understand his steez at the time. Like the hard white guy like that. Like I could get the muscle bound guy, but Granddaddy IU in a white boy. I couldn't get.
I fucked with Prime Minister Pete Nice more than Search. I thought Search was a clown.
That's what I'm trying. I agree. You know what I mean? I agree on it, but I could. But I could, like I said, I had the sympathy rap of my reception of it is my kinship.
I'm gonna give you one more. I always felt like I was waiting for Pete Nice to get up from a chair and be like, "You niggas ain't better than me." That's the vibe. Because he would get up so smooth with the suit on. I was just waiting. I'm like, okay.
The disposition.
And he was like, look at my boy over there dancing, but I'm not into all
none of that.
I'm not doing none of that.
I'm like he was from the block, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Mafia done.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah, and maybe that's what I wasn't getting mafia perspective. If I kind of looked at it maybe from that, then I probably could have respected it a little bit more or something. But at the end of the day,
but they, I mean, outside of even Search bringing Nas to the game, they also had signed a group called KMD.
Oh, yeah. I remember KMD. Yeah.
Ill Record, Peach Fuzz. They was the brothers of 5% Nation.
Definitely. That was hot shit. Shit.
Yeah, and actually, your guy came out of that group. That's now, your guy, the underground rapper that wear the mask all the time. Doom.
Oh, MF Doom.
MF Doom, bro. He was in KMD.
KMD,
yes,
right.
Sir.
Now that's a hip hop bar for all of you motherfuckers out there.
MF Doom that samples on a real underground hip hop bar.
And for like I said, third base, they really had a contribution for rap to me at the time. Though it was a positive contribution, even though they were white boys. and I denigrate it that way. I will, but even though it is white boy, they had a good contribution to rap. You know what I mean? It was kind of.
You wasn't fucking with Gasface.
It was just an okay. It was too commercial for me. Once a record gets too commercial, I'm not. I'm off the record. I don't even like the record anymore usually because it just went somewhere that beyond. Once the little teeny bopper white girl likes it, I probably don't like the record.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's just my brand of music. But in transitioning though, these were all East Coast groups that we've been focusing on and talking about in the evolution of the white rapper.
It definitely came from there first because I was trying to remember like when was there a white rapper from LA, but of course here we go.
So
it is.
And this particular record, when it like I'm gonna tell you, when I first saw this video and the record, like I was low key upset. I'm gonna tell you, I was low key. I was low key upset. I'm gonna just tell you that was just my disposition when I watched it. But I'm gonna tell you the other part that was inside of me too was that motherfucker was hard.
Right, because this is I think the first time you seen like a white rapper that was really like we on some white shit.
We embodying my Eurocentricity, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tricentricity, whatever the fuck the word is right now, because I can't say it. I'm off two motherfucking big ass blunts of sticky icky motherfucking that Bugatti right now. So my speech get a little slurred on a nigga every once in a while.
Right.
But House of Pain, motherfuckers, House of Pain, you know what I mean? What was that, Everlast and Danny Boy? And
DJ Lethal.
Oh man, you know what I mean? So, the motherfucking record though, still when I hear the beat, that motherfucking knock, G. That motherfucking record was a hard record for hip hop at the period of time. But like I told you, I didn't like it or I kind of hated it on a certain level. But I grew to like the record because of just what you just said. He did it for the white people. And that sometimes is okay. I can tolerate that on a certain level because he wasn't trying to be us. He wasn't trying to reflect us. They had overalls on differently. They had a whole different swag.
He came in with that whole Irish ball.
And they sold that to me, and I bought that. I bought that.
You bought it?
I bought.
I wasn't rolling. You want to know why?
I bought that.
You always see.
I didn't buy it at the store. I'm just mean I bought it.
You bought how they brought it to you.
I bought how they bought it. I bought how they bought it.
See, I've been doing this since a young pup, bro. And if you don't remember, man, Everlast came out of Rhyme Syndicate. Where he was trying to be a straight pretty boy rapper. And Ice-T
I remember he had the really, I had that record.
He had the little flip.
He had a dance record. What you talking about? He had the suit on. Yeah, the Justin Bieber with the suit on. So I saw Everlast like that. I had the record though. I'm talking about in my little punk ass crate. I had that record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So then he came back with the hard bald head white boys and got them riled up, jump around. You feel me?
Again, that was showing you the flip flop or the where it's not authentic, and this is always a gimmick when I do it. You know what I mean? And so
didn't they have bars for third base around that time? Like it was tight with them in third base because they felt the same thing I'm saying. Search, you monkey, and you out here dancing and jugging. We don't do that. You feel me?
Right. You need to be with the whites. You know what I mean?
Cut your hair off,
exactly.
Bro. Get you one of these bald heads.
Like what was my dude from Higher Learning? You know what I mean?
I just watched that movie a couple days ago, bro. That was definitely him, the one that had the beef with Ice Cube.
Michael Rappaport played the role,
yes,
but I forgot his name. But boy, man,
that's who House of Pain was for.
It was definitely that group. You know what I mean? That's a good mirror for House of Pain.
All day.
You know, but again, like I said, I thought. It was the first time you looked at white rappers and at least went like, damn, like, or you could put their record on and felt like it could meet or match a street level of a record that you know what I mean, that was out. Yeah. And so I had to give them that credit. But then on the flip side, that's what I'm trying to say. Just as fast, you know what I mean, like Snap, you know what I mean, and all that shit was going on, all that dance, you know what I mean. It's still that heavy dance era time, Kid and Play, and the whole, you know what I mean, the life, you know what I mean. And so you had who has become one of Hollywood's biggest movie producers, At the time, he was a 17-year-old culture vulture, though, also.
Look, left his homie behind, too.
What are you talking about?
Left his homie behind. Like, I got to go do this. You want to do that?
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to go do this right here.
I did me
and
a little.
They came all out of this crew. Like, it was a set of all of them. You understand? Mugs. As far as with that, out of that, Cypress,
right? That's right.
Out of the House of Pain.
What
movement.
sprung from it?
What sprung from it? You
All from Marky Mark. And
you talking about Marky Mark? I was going somewhere else, but woo, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
The Funky Bunch. Ooh. That's who I was thinking of. And touching on, well, especially what I'm saying, became one of the biggest producers in Hollywood.
Actors and producers, exactly.
Man, Dirk Diggler, you know what I'm saying? Like the one and only, you know what I'm saying?
Mark Wahlberg,
you know what I mean?
Get a bar. Government, you know what I mean?
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. There was a big pop record, you know what I mean? Like, so just giving out bars of all you new white rappers that think you've come on and you've, done something historical, or you haven't done shit, man. We've been seeing this shit for fucking 25 years, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're just another effort at trying to usurp the game and manipulate the relationships and the money at the end of the day, what we call white privilege in life. And so, who did you want to touch on right there? Because I want to go, since you was running with a thought right there. And I brought up Mr. Funky Bunch, but you had somebody else in mind.
Well, out of that whole crew, Alchemist had came out of that and was birthed. You know what I mean? He was a youngster on that side with House of Pain and Cypress, but he also was in a group.
Go ahead, give.
Oh no, because I was waiting for you. I thought you was gonna hit me with it.
No. Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, let's see. The group was, he had his partner with him, the Hooligans.
Wow.
You feel me?
I did not know that was Alchemist.
Are you serious?
I did not know that. I never went. Your partner Chase.
Yeah,
I never fucked with that.
My partner.
And then
shout out Chase out there.
And then they used to have a little lawyer, and he used to submit all the beats out to everybody. Zach Katz.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
see, that's a whole little triangle to talk about.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But and so I'm gonna flip a little bit in here and just touch on him right now, since we right here with this, and that's
what you mean with Al?
With Al, we're gonna stay with Al.
Let's stay with Al.
Let's stay with Al,
yeah.
Because Al touches to evidence also for
numerous
right now.
Numerous white rappers. They're all. You know what I mean?
Right, they all touch each other
exactly.
and work together. But Al is a representation of that. I had money. I'm the Jewish guy that has money, and I rap.
I just do this because I can.
No, I do this because I don't want to do other shit. So I'm rebelling.
I'm rebelling against that rich family.
I have the money to go and manipulate the shit and to get my plays. Right. There's another Jewish guy over here that I know, and we're gonna tag team our relationships up. Yeah, and then he'll give me the beats from this guy over here who's hot. I'll take his style a little bit, and then hey man, fuck you.
Bro, that's how you feel about Al, bro?
Hey. I'm like, it's no more strong arm steady, so I don't have to walk a fine line for, like, you niggas was rich dudes that lived in Beverly Hills and had money already. Like, I'm a nigga, I was raised in the jungles, my nigga, if y'all don't know. So you know what I mean? The disparity financially for niggas from Beverly Hills to Baldwin Hills, nigga, it's a huge jump in financial bread in them zip codes.
It's night and day.
So
what do you mean?
So when AC Alone and Mike and Nine do rap, nigga. And the niggas can't buy their records because, I don't know, the manipulation of the game for Al and Ev and it's a fucked up game when rap is that way. I'm just trying to tell you. That's how I look at it.
Say, bro, because look, before you even got into that, right, you had to understand that Al's first group was the Hooligans, and his partner was this guy named Sean Khan or Kane. Now, if you Google
giving me too many, bro. See
his name, he's a big actor now. You understand what I'm saying? He was in Entourage. You've seen him before, but he was actually in a rap group, and he was one that said, I'm cool on this rap shit.
Right.
Why am I doing this shit?
Right.
You feel me?
Like I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Moms and them ain't supporting this shit.
I'm tripping
Let me go
again.
and do what I'm supposed to be doing. And he became a very talented and big name actor that's out there that's always on the red carpet of the Emmys. And
I went and did the white thing, and it worked out for me.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
This is what I do.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not saying that there's not an arena or a lane for black actors and producers and all. There is, and I support that greatly. I'm just saying, but they control, and it was something they created. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know, and I even go back in the history of movies, and that's another show. But I'm just trying to say, I know from the 1920s and things of the black movie creators and of that era too, and we can get into that on a different show. But I'm just saying that's their genre that they've created. But rap there's only two original American art forms of music: jazz and rap. Period. Nah, there's nothing else.
We did. I think we've birthed every.
That's it, brother. There's only two.
Rock, bro. That was us first.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Chuck Berry is rock before.
That's what I'm telling you.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying.
Stop it. So it's not. We birthed every genre of music, but there's only two, and that's jazz and rap. Those are the only two. And when it's integrated and manipulated this way, then it denigrates the culture of it and the essence and the spirit. And so this is why we do a show like The Evolution of the White Rapper and its impact and its effects on the entire
culture.
On the entire rap
game,
culture.
You know what I
mean?
Yeah, totally.
And so since we're talking in a grand scheme, that I'm glad Ev and Al, and a shout out to them, man. You know, because like I said, it's a lot of
people. Don't forget Rocker, man. Who always gets. You feel me?
He always gets the sidebar. You know what I mean? He gets that driving Miss Daisy role. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? That whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm clouded, man. I'm clouded, really. Don't trip off a nigga. You know what I mean? I'm just giving out bars, man.
Bro. Look, if y'all got issue with us, man,
you know I don't give a fuck, my nigga. At the end of the day,
I'm at Breezy.
Holla at me, man.
MarkBreezy on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. No fake. It's all real. 100.
And same with you, nigga. You know what I mean? At me on the Twitter. I'm arguing or with somebody all the time, or giving a bar for somebody. At William Blast on the Twitter. Same thing.
Clack clack.
You know what I mean? All day in America. Same thing on the Instagram, you know what I mean, and Snap. Like I said, I told you I was fucking with that LI Video, Sway, and Cricket Eye, and all them niggas been fucking with that. I'm fucking with that too.
They had a big party for that last night too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh man,
over in Beverly Hills.
Man, I would have liked to bubble that. Man, that's some good shit. So I'm glad I gave them niggas a bar on that. You know what I mean? So check that out if you haven't. You know what I mean? LIVideo.com. You know what I mean? Check them out because that's some new shit. That's
new shit, new tech shit.
You know what I mean? So get a bar of that. But I was working for Columbia, and it was one of the first tours I was going to be able to get to go out on my own with. And what I mean by my own, I was a street nigga, but I was responsible for a group on the tour, so I was kind of like their little tour manager on a certain level. The group was Pace One and the Outsiders.
Yes, sir.
And Young Z was part.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? Young Z. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? It's that whole crew. But shout out to Pace One. We even follow each other still to this day on Twitter and shit. So shout out to Pace One.
Outsiders one of a big
East Coast, conglomerate.
Coast crew, conglomerate that doesn't really get the props they deserve.
Ever, you know what I mean? Real MCs, exactly. Real MCs, the niggas that give you a bar, you know what I mean? Lyrically, they was about to rhyme, and so at the end of the day, you wasn't stepping to them niggas and not getting your head split on the mic.
And one of their biggest fans came, and wanted to be down with him so bad, but ended up blowing and doing his stuff. I'm sure you were swinging into.
Oh, I'm definitely swinging into. What are you talking about?
Okay.
That's how the story ties in.
Where I was thinking
the story ties in. So I think the label was Rock-A-Block at the time, and they had a little distribution deal with Columbia. And so so a nigga. I got this, okay, cool, I'm getting all the itinerary and all the shit, boom, I'm finna go out on the road, boom. They're like, yeah, it's an Eminem tour. Eminem is the headliner. It's his first tour, Slim Shady, you know what I mean? And like, I'm looking around in the room going, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, all this fanfare for this motherfucker right now, too, that's going on. And the buzz was incredible at the time,
right.
For him, where the entire fucking industry, you couldn't turn on MTV, you couldn't turn on, anything where without him, you know what I mean? It was everything. So So I'm like, okay, this is good. I get to go out though, and these big shows. These not gonna be empty venues at least. So you know what I mean. So let's go check it out. So we out on the road. I do the whole West Coast with them. I do San Diego. I do Vegas. I do the Bay Area, Portland, Seattle. We was going to Vancouver. I went to Vancouver and came home. And so and then they went to the East Coast. But it was an amazing display of fandom, kind of the shit that I see now happening around the country where, there are a lot of people going to rap shows and rap venues and supporting these concerts and things. But, at these shows, it wasn't a black face in the house, obviously. You know what I mean? It'd be like 99% white people. And good shows, but just wasn't some shit I was really fucking with from a level of like, okay, musically, like I want to have a good time. The music got to make me want to turn up, have a party. I don't care if it was Snoop or Dre or whatever the genre of the music was. It made me want to get active in some kind of way. It turned up my testosterone bubble. Do you know what I mean? Like it gave me some energy, boosted energy. That music didn't do that necessarily for me or anything or that perspective of it. I had a great time on the tour, but. The bar I want to give on Eminem, like I said, I just gave that tour to say I went on Eminem's first ever tour, though, like grand tour in the music business.
The foundation.
So,
get part of the history.
Slim Shady days, the real early, the original. And so I got to see that live and up close every day for, 2.5, 3 weeks. And so, that was a great run for me, just on the experience of seeing it. He's developed into a great artist. But the thing, this is what I'm going to say. Eminem, and I've said this for, I don't know, since 1997. Eminem is nothing but white Razzcast to me. And so if Razzcast was white, he'd be Eminem. And so that's just
as far as how they approach rap and the techniques they use and the style, yes. But Raz has a little bit more intellectual content. See, to me, that's just, hey, I'm wild, I'm crazy, I hate my mom, I'm doing all these drugs.
Right.
So it relates to.
See, that's where he sticks. He has a stick at the end of the day.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Because he's actually talking to and relating to directly his fan base, his audience. The kids that want to listen to him are who you seen in the audience.
He doesn't have to make music for me or for anybody on the block or anybody. He doesn't have to make music for them.
I'm not listening to it in the car.
I've never, and this is
ever.
I have this conversation with people all the time, and when we in rap or just talking rap, and I always tell people, I've never listened to an Eminem album. I've never.
I've listened. I've had to give it run. I got to run it one time.
People let me hear Eminem songs.
Okay, got you.
I hear those songs, but I don't. Yeah. I've never physically just sat and said, no, I'm going to go through it. I've never done that. Yeah, no, I've never even had the desire to do that.
Right.
I knew what it was when I got it, and I've never, and I know the Dr. Dre and the whole, that is some bullshit to me in life. That's some, you know what I mean? Again, that's where we get to touch on the bigger element of, or the elephant in the room, as I should say, Jimmy Iovine. You know what I mean?
Off of that bubble.
Because it switches. The entire game of rap, as we know it now in this new modern era, has been conflicted and contorted and shaped and structured
by one individual.
And if you don't see it that way, then you're really blinded by what's going on. You know what I mean? So I don't. He could try to put his tentacles out and block and blackball me from whatever perspectives. That's fine. I don't care. I'm already blackballed because I don't have shit. So at the end of the day, like nigga, I'm not gonna lose nothing.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose nothing.
I'm really out here.
So at the end of the day, nigga, you can't take nothing from me. So so at the end of the day, Jimmy Iovine has really manipulated this game. Eminem was a construct to me, a Jimmy Iovine brainchild, the mastermind, Frankenstein, exactly, the creation. And so that's why for all you other white rappers that are trying to do it and accomplish it, you have a ceiling. You have a maximum ceiling that you'll never pierce because Eminem has already existed.
Exactly.
He's already here.
He set that standard. They put the bar way higher.
There won't be any more that accomplish that.
He's the Elvis, what they wanted to be the Elvis of hip-hop.
Of hip-hop. He accomplished that. Yes, so when you know that, you know what I mean, let's move on. But then that's where they've recreated and said, we're not going to try to go in so deep into the rap lane anymore. We're going to Bieber it. We're going to Timberlake it. We're going to, manipulate around it.
Yeah, it was a test. After you get the first test off, you got to come back with a few more. Some may work, some may not work. You know what I mean? Like after M reached a certain plateau, I think the thing was, and this is why we're going to other white rappers that were actually signed to Interscope, was they wanted to control that market share. They didn't want to give none of that up.
Right. Totally.
So if you was a competitive another white rapper that was buzzing, they was gonna sign you because they didn't want no competition with M going to any other label outside of Universal.
At all. We can't have you affect the fan base at all. It has to be totally just for him.
Just for him. Or really, and if you do want to get a piece of that market share, we're going to get it. And that's when you get a...
They're like Pepsi. It's like Pepsi or something. You know,
right,
it's like
right,
you know, if you're an independent little beverage drink or something like that, and you come and you take a good share of the market, they're gonna be at your door knocking, going, "How you doing? Yeah, we need that. Like, how much? Okay, and then when they lowball you, and then they come back with another. Okay, yeah, we're gonna match. We're gonna give you a figure that you can't turn down eventually because we need that.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So,
right, because you're muscling in on our paper.
On our papers.
That's how you look at it.
So we just give you this paper, and then we'll just be able to take, and then you can't affect our paper.
Exactly. So you got to understand, at that time, after M blew and did what he was going to do, you got Dre, who's a producer over there, who's Jimmy's go-to guy, and he's got his guy. But then also on the go-to for Jimmy was Timberland.
Man. I'm not your puppet.
So Timberland's there, and they say, well, shit, maybe we can get him one. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you pop up.
When you say
Sparks.
Ooh, see now Bubba will at least make a little club joint for me or something that I'd be like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think he could go all the way because he was from down south, so his experience also was a little bit different than what M's was going to be. You feel me? M's was from like middle America. I'm depressed. All this wild shit going on in the home. Where Bubba Sparks was on some like, y'all get out here with him. I got the little fade, you know what I mean? I could boogie right along with on these Timberland beats. Now, the first record was that Ugly.
Right. I didn't like Ugly so much, but it was like his second record or something he came back with. But it was all Timbo beats at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
How bad could they be at the end of the day? You know what I mean?
Right. The beats was there. The beats was there. And I just think, again, it wasn't, he was still going for some of the, black audience, and it was still like a fine line. It's still like until he dropped, I found you, Miss New Booty.
Exactly.
Hey, that went up in the club.
He had one. You know what I mean?
They still play that in the club.
That motherfucker's still not. It's still not. Keep it real. So, but that's why I say like a Bubba Sparks. It's not even from a respect thing or something like that, but it was like I knew what kind of music or what kind of record he was trying to do or what he was trying to pierce. He wasn't trying to really even invade rap pantheon perspective. He was trying to make a record that where he could get played in the club and party and be pop bottles and in that perspective.
Exactly.
He wanted to get the cool factor at the end of the day. Where I understand it. Where, like I said, he wasn't ever gonna be on our radar like that, and I think he knew that. You know what I'm saying? But from a club DJ or that type of thing, yeah, I can get my record off in there. And
I think he did think he was gonna get that off because if you remember the first video, it was him. He was in the field. It was Timberland. It was Missy. They tried to bring that whole crew out. Like, look.
Well, they was trying to sell it at the end of the day.
They was definitely trying to sell it.
But I think as it progressed, and then you gave me the bar of Haystack, and that made me check out or just at least I just got a couple bars on it, but he was more of like a street redneck white rapper perspective, you know what I mean? And so,
but he had that low tone, that same low tone,
right? And
you know what I mean? You talk to Haystack be like, yeah, boy,
those bars really missed me. But that was also the bird. Those bars really missed me. I didn't really, you know what I mean? But that was really the burgeoning of also during the South's evolution and how the South was peaking during that time. So so during the South's rise, you had to have the voice of the white South. You know what I mean? Kind of cast off in that.
South,
you know what I mean? Exactly. So you had that. So and I don't know. Touching on the last part of that. Would be Paul Wall, you know what I mean? When you talk about Southern white rappers, you know what I mean, that really had an impact. And Paul Wall's honestly going to probably be in my top 3 white rappers of all time in a sense of the perspective because
he didn't fit into that mold. Like he was really coming from Texas, and I don't want to say he's like the Search from Texas. I got my girl with me. I got
the black girl, right? I got a black girlfriend. Yep.
I'm closer to the experience than these other cats. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm massaging that part of where I'm not necessarily trying to steal a culture because I've been living it this way, but at the same time, if any white boy does it, it's gonna kind of look like this. So that's what Paul kind of showed me. But Swisher House, you know what I mean? The chopped and screw element, the syrup, the grills,
all of that.
Paul has impacted hip hop culture, though. You know what I mean? Personally, himself. So I have to give it to him and say that from a marketing or a branding and things of that nature, man, he's been impactful. He's added to the culture at the end of the day. And not taken away just for himself. And lastly, I don't know, just for me, he got a feature on Jill Scott's record.
My nigga, I was waiting for you to come with
so
that.
Gone.
That record's so
hard. What are you
hard,
talking
bro.
about, my nigga? What are you talking about?
I said, how did he? Woo!
What?
He pulled that off. That record is killer, bro.
That's that 1 o'clock in the morning. With the shooby dooby, man. You know what I mean? And I'm going in.
I think Paul Wall,
I'm going in, man.
He certified himself when he did that feature, bro.
Oh yeah, he put himself where the pantheon of niggerdom. You know what I mean? that he's like, on our side.
Really with this shit.
If we did the racial draft, he's a first round pick. You know what I mean?
Bro.
He's a first round pick.
I'm taking Paul Wall, and I got two I can swap out. You feel me?
I got about 50 I swap out of these raggedy ass niggas that can go. You know what I mean? Y'all can go to that side quickly. But then we got the little small modern, and I want to just touch on this. There's an Asher Rothschild perspective of it. I've never gone in on records of him. I might have spent, 35, 40 seconds on a record or something. But my bar is, I called him Asher Rothschild because it's not Asher Roth. It's Rothschild. And that in itself says, why the fuck are you rapping, dude? Like, why do you rap? Like, okay, so if you're a Rothschild, why didn't you go and do an album with Jay Electronica while he was fucking on the white Rothschild bitch? That's the bar I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, why not connect the bars that way, white man, and use...
They don't want to connect it. The same reason why he's not using the full last name,
That's
bro.
my point. You're trying to put the whoop on me again. And that's why I'm trying to expose you and tell you, like, man, we smell you out here, G. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to whoop the culture like that, you know what I mean, and manipulate this guy. Man, go fuck with them stocks, you know what I'm saying? Get that Forex, them binary options, you know what I'm saying? Go do all that investment shit, you know what I'm saying? And just keep that bread coming, you know what I mean? That's what you do. Manipulate markets and shit, man. Let niggas have the street. Don't, you know what I mean? You just kind of taking up space on the conveyor belt where another nigga needs that spot. You know what I mean? He needs that 60,000 advance. He needs that you know what I mean? That retaining budget. You know what I'm saying? He needs that. Let him get that. You know what I mean? Where you could go get that little measly little bread.
You can just ask your pops for it. You just call it. Hey, can you drop that in my account real quick?
I mean. It's not necessary. But and so we have a few of those like that. I went and looked at Yellow Wolf's record. I was upset that I had to take a little couple minutes to go and look at these records, honestly.
I mean, Blaster, I understand for me, I gotta do this. Like, I gotta stay up on it. So
I was upset.
I'm be familiar, and just to rewind a little bit. See, for Asher Roth, like, he had that college record. Your boy put that out.
I know how big it was on the...
But that was your boy. Over there at Loud put that out, wasn't it?
Steve Rifkin?
Steve Rifkin. That's a Steve Rifkin bar.
Wait. Before we even dive into what you about to even say, let's just touch on the Dante Rosses, the Paul Rosenbergs of the world, the Steve Rifkins of the world. You know what I mean? Right. Including the Jimmy Iovines, the Ted Fields. You know what I mean? The Brian Turners. You know what I mean? The people.
I'm gonna give you a bar. BT was like, don't bring one of them in here. I'm cool on that.
BT didn't never go that route. BT keep it gangster.
BT kept it all the way
BT keeps it gangster.
He was like a white rapper.
He's like,
I'm
what?
cool.
Like, what is that?
I'm cool.
Because that's why it was Frankenstein for your boy. Because most of the other ones never did it. They kind of tried to engage into what was authentic of the streets. Even as Steve Rifkin with a Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? He wanted to, it's one of the most legendary groups ever, and they was the most God, that's a Jewish man that put the gods out at the end of the day.
Right.
So it's a huge conflict in philosophical perspectives or ideology there, you know what I mean? When you're talking about Judaism versus the nation of the gods and earths, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's usually like, polar opposites.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so it had to be truly beneficial for Steve Rifkin to make that kind of investment in those gentlemen, and obviously has been because they're one of the most legendary groups ever.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
But no,
so that's one of the things with Asher. But then this is what I do appreciate to a degree. Like for Asher Roth, after he did a couple rap things, you know what I mean, it really wasn't clicking. And again, I feel like it's when they come out to the game, boom, and they make a big splash. And cats like, okay, and then at the second go round, after they've already lifted up their skirt, it's like it's over.
It's over.
So now I got to go back to what my audience would want. You know what I mean?
100% right.
Exactly.
And then I get locked into a complete white boy lane of rap, and it's like being murder dog for super overly gangster niggas that can't get to the conveyor belt.
Exactly.
You're so deep into white boy rap that niggas are like, who?
Right. But he did do a couple things, bro. And that's just because it's my nigga. But with my guy Chuck English, that was ferocious.
He was at a party I was at during the summer.
Okay, they had a record called In the Kitchen.
I went to a Chuck party,
which was real crazy. I was surprised that. And then just fast forward into today, Knots Raw. I don't know if you know who Knots is, producer out of VA. Him and Asher did a little EP together. So, yeah, I mean, he's still trying to work. But, again, his favorite music from me was when he did a record called Tangerine Girl, which was more like some disco singing type shit. I respect that. I love that.
Like almost Mark Ronson type shit.
Yes.
And see, and that's that type of music right there. Like if you turn that on and I'm in your presence, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'll be like, okay. I know what this is. I'm out of here. I'm on the move. Yeah. I'll be back. Or call me when it's a new
come back.
Right, when it's cracking again. But I want to touch on just Mac Miller real quick. I'm running by Machine Gun Kelly on purpose. You know what I mean? Because
I didn't even want to touch on dude.
I see his TMZs. That's enough. I'm good. Okay, Mac Miller. I like Mac Miller and what he does with. Well, you did the 100 Stacks video with him,
Ab-Soul, Schoolboy Q.
That's some dope shit. But he manipulates the line a little bit, and I got a bar that he was a rich Jewish kid. Also,
what are
background.
You talking about? His parents gave him $1 million to get out the gate.
So
off top out there in Pittsburgh, and then he was signed to Rostrum, but then was able to really tell Rostrum, I really don't need
your money. Cause I don't need your money.
I'm good. And then when did all MTV had his own MTV reality show? I don't know if you got a bar that he ran with all, bro. I think he got something like $15 million from Warner just on something like okay, cool.
And may not even do shit with that.
It's,
$15 million to just piss.
He dropped a new record, bro, and I think they tried to do a little return to the Eminem because guess who produced it? Shy Money XL.
Wow.
And if you go listen to it, it's like a real doop, doop, doop.
I can see him
like a little drain.
I can see Shy trying to manipulate that. And get that like, I'm gonna sneak this right here. Like, man, them niggas be trying to make moves, man.
Right. You got a check from 100 grand kids. You can go check that out. If this is the kind of rap that you into, just go to YouTube, pull it up if you like.
There's some comedy that happens out here in this white boy random white boy venue or genre perspective. Riff Raff is one of those. When I seen him bubble with I forgot the white actress, but he bubbled with her. I thought that was some cool shit at like the MTV Awards. Like that was funny to me.
With Katy Perry,
with Katy Perry with the Katy Perry shit.
Had the hillbilly shit with the whole jean outfit.
That was pretty funny. He's mimicking some shit, but at the same time, I thought his spin on it and his angle that's not bad. It's almost Weird Al type shit with it, so I can't even front on that. Little Dicky, I don't like. I would sock Little Dicky if I saw Little Dicky like on the block somewhere near me. I bomb. I bomb like I take off real quick. Like boo 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 boo. Like nigga, what's happening with it? You know what I mean? And then if I sock you to the ground, nigga, I'm checking your pockets. I promise that's on my mama. You know what I mean? Like so I just wanted to get that bar and keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he gets catch me out of there like that, bro. So I could be mad, bro. He had that record with Fetty.
Fuck that nigga, man. Fuck that shit. That nigga's a bitch. Hey, Action Bronson.
Bro, it's too much.
I like the shit. The
No. Whoa. Wait a minute. How you gonna not knock out Action Bronson, but you gonna knock out Lil Dicky?
Let me finish. I like the little song about the bitch. That's all I like.
Baby Blue,
because they Chance on that record.
Chance the Rapper.
That's why I like Baby Blue is because of a Chance. I like that record. I can't even. And then he got the Jeep, the song with the Jeep, the video. I forgot what the shit is. That shit is all right. It's a Riff Raff is in that shit. You know what I mean? That's why I transitioned even on Riff Raff with that because Riff Raff is in that bullshit. But
I'm not rolling.
But the Ghostface. No.
You gonna knock Lil Dicky out?
No.
Action Bronson, you gonna let him live?
When he first ever made a record, I was one of the first people to say he sounds just like Ghostface. So how is he living? But it's back to those 4 or 5 people we were talking about: Dante Ross, Paul Rosenberg. You know what I mean? We could go back into that whole situation. They all are impactful in moving that vehicle. So when you have the white gatekeepers all on your team, you're gonna succeed.
Yeah. There you go.
He even got my nephew. My nephew is a learning chef up at the restaurant Inc. up here in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And Action Bronson shot his first little
fuck that's delicious.
Fuck that's delicious.
Yeah.
And he put my nephew on the shit. You know what I mean? Shout out.
That you gonna give him a pass for that?
I'm not giving him a pass. I'm just shouting out my nephew. I'm shouting out my nephew.
Because Ghost went hard, bro.
Hey,
and Ghost let it be known.
And I supported that. I supported Ghost the whole time with that. And 100%.
I think it might have even kind of like made dudes slow down.
Wait a minute, he pushed the brakes.
Like all the way. Where I'm doing this reality show right now. But the whole
White Brigade, because again, that's Woo, the affiliate, you had to pull back.
Yeah, a quick one real quick.
You had to pull back.
Actually, and it's, somewhat connected, but actually Riggs Morales is the cat that signed Action Bronson, and Riggs is, been, part of the Source magazine from back in the day.
Right.
And he worked
one of the
over
originals.
at Shady
One of the originals.
For a long time, he was at Shady, and, I believe he's at A&R at Atlantic now, and that's how he brought Action Bronson to the turf.
And Atlantic is Dante Ross was
Warner Dante,
okay,
on a big scale, you know what I mean? And went over there and brought in Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
White privilege again, Macklemore. I'm not really going to give you too much of a bar because, again, you have
to come. There's another one where
No, we're not coming back. We got
to come back to the white folks, bro.
I'm going to touch on this. We can come back with part 2, but I'm going to just touch on
that's what I mean, part 2.
My dude in the Bay. It's only one white rapper that I'm giving any, what I call love to and support, and that's G-Eazy. And the only reason I'm giving that love is because I seen Mac Dre mama in a picture with him, you know what I mean, giving up the thiz, you know what I'm saying? And when Mac Dre mama supports him, I fucks with him. And so
we got to get back to this, man, because G-Eazy got a couple hot records, man. I think that this is another topic that can go
G-Eazy
on.
might get a show or something, you know what I mean? Because like G-Eazy's situation really is the dichotomy of this entire perspective. Macklemore is on the descent, so it doesn't matter what Macklemore does.
And keep it real, I love the way G-Eazy, like if you keep, when you keep the culture close to you like that.
That's
like
what I'm trying to say.
Then that makes you
it's hard. It's hard to hate on you because it's like he's trying to uplift you at the same time as he's rising. So you can't fight that.
Or come rise with me.
That's what I'm saying. Come rise with me.
I'm
letting it run.
So shit, that's another one. Blast.
We have to do another part 2. We're going to be here all year, motherfucker. So, you know what I mean? Tune in and get a bar of us. You know what I mean?
Going on until y'all kill us.
It's the TNYLTH show.
You love to hate.
Mark Brown.
Will blast.
Get a bar, motherfucker.
All in your mouth.
We out.
Bitch.